Hey there, welcome to Coaching with Tally. We are here in a series all about increasing peace in your life. Today talking about the power of your interpretation. So the way that a circumstance is in your life is actually neutral. And what it is that you make it mean is what creates peace or stress for you. So let's think of an example. So here's an example. If you are in traffic and there's a lot of traffic and someone cuts you off, your interpretation could be, that person is kind of an a-hole, or you're like mad at them, or you're like so inconsiderate, or it's so rude. Or you could be like, okay, maybe this person is in a hurry and they're needing to get somewhere, they have an emergency going on. And you can have whatever interpretation you want to have on any given situation. You can have that all of this going on in the world with COVID and what's going on with your business or what's going on in your family is happening to you, or you can be like, this is happening for me, and how am I going to use this to actually further what it is I am made for, what the things that I'm made to create in the world. So interpretation is so significant when it comes to the place that you're going to live in emotionally, whether you're going to live in a state of stress or you're going to live in a state of peace. If you're going to live in a state of irritation and feeling like a victim, or you're going to live in a state of, how is this a perfect opportunity for me to step into more of what it is that I'm made for, what it is that I'm called to? How is this a beautiful invitation for me to step into more? My name is Tally. I am a life and personal development coach, and I work with leaders to create lives of overflowing impact in the world that are centered in joy. Getting leaders aligned to who it is they most truly are, firing on all cylinders. We look at every area of life, getting into a place of overflow where in your life you are overflowing what you're made for, what you're called to, and impacting other people because you have created a life that you love living. Getting really clear about what it is you want, where you are, and how you want to get to where you want. So yes, states of peace, absolutely. So I am doing a Tony Robbins course, Unleash the Power Within, and I think we're going to put a slight pause after today on the Peace series. We're going to come back to it. But for the next 4 days, I'm going to bring you one highlight from the Tony Robbins series every day because it's incredible. It's an incredible, powerful experience and event. So this is actually both of those things. This is part of the Peace series, and also this is a nugget for you from day one of Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within, all about our interpretation and the power of choosing our interpretation. One of the things he said that I really resonated with was that we use our circumstances to prove what it is that we believe. So if you believe in life that things just knock you down over and over and over again and you can't get ahead, then you'll find circumstances outside of yourself to be like, see, there it is again. I get knocked down. I can't succeed because all of these things happen to me. Or you can be, your emotional home might be like, it doesn't matter what comes at me, I'm going to overcome it. I'm going to use it to learn and grow and to serve other people with. And then whatever circumstance comes at you, you say, oh yeah, see, that proves that I am an overcomer. This situation happened and it actually doesn't matter what happens to me. Whatever comes my way, I'm going to use to both grow and then serve other people with. So that's just a little something for you. And this is a growth journey. This has been at least a couple of decades in the making for me, and still a process. And I will find myself responding to a situation and I'll go, okay, is that the pattern I want to stay in? Is that what I want to focus on? Is this the interpretation that I want to have? Because I don't actually like the way that I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling, beat down, or I'm feeling attacked, or I'm feeling whatever it is that I don't like the way that I'm feeling. And so then I have an opportunity in that moment to go, okay, well, what is my interpretation of this? Because that is what is having me feel this way. It is never actually the circumstance that you're in that is causing you to feel the way you're feeling. It is the meaning that you're attaching to it. Because we as humans are meaning makers. We're meaning making machines. So we are always interpreting. It's almost like a filter. Circumstance happens. We run it through our filter, which we get to choose. But this filter that we have determines how we end up feeling. So if our filter is, things are happening to me, I'm the victim of things, I don't really have a lot of power, I don't really have a lot of control, over my life, then you're going to create scenarios that you feel powerless. You're going to create scenarios that you feel out of control. But if you choose to begin shifting this filter that you run circumstances through, and you begin to say, can you close that, buddy? It's a little too loud out there. We have Tony Robbins going on in the other room. It's his first virtual event, which is pretty freaking cool. He's got thousands of people all on Zoom together, and he can see 3,000 of us at a time. He built this $9 million studio that it's pretty cool. So it's the first Unleash the Power Within live event. It's cool. Anyhow, so if you want to shift how you feel about something, shift the filter that you're running it through. And that's something that you absolutely have the power to do. So if you don't like your feeling, you can just change your interpretation. Cooke is a teacher that I listen to a lot, and I really, really love him. And he says it's the same principle, but he says it in this way. And I heard this probably 15 years ago, and it stuck really powerfully for me. He's like, if you don't like where all of your thinking has gotten you to, the beautiful thing is you can just have another thought. You can just have another, basically, interpretation of the situation. If you don't like the place that all of your circumstances and all of your thinking about those circumstances have gotten you to, you don't like the way that you're feeling, you can shift it and just have a different thought. So that is my encouragement to you. I want you to think of one thing in your life right now that you don't like the way that you feel about this thing. Some circumstance in your life, you don't like the way that you feel every time you think about it. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's something to do with your business, maybe it's something to do with your finances or your body, or let's see, feeling like you're not really operating in what it is that you're created for. Whatever area of life it is, you're not in contribution in the way that you want, or you don't feel like you either deserve or have time to refresh and refuel. Whatever area of life it is for you, you don't like the result that you have in that. You don't like the way that you feel about it. I want to encourage you to begin questioning the filter that you're running that through. What is the story that you're attaching to that your brain is just like, see, there, it proves it again. See if you can shift that filter to something that is more empowering. So I have a friend, Nicholas, and one of the things we'll say to each other, which is really, really supportive, is like when we find ourselves in a hard place or we're like kind of being complainy or negative, I invite you to have a more empowering interpretation, is the way that we say it to each other. I invite you to have a more empowering interpretation. If you're going to have an interpretation about a situation and you get to pick it, then why not pick one that's empowering for you? Why not pick a filter that actually will cause you to move forward in a positive way, that will actually cause you to feel better? So what if you shifted something about the filter that you have coming in, that you are victim to something in some way, and shift it to it's actually happening for you, and it's an invitation into something really beautiful for you. So try that on with one circumstance in your life and just ask the question, how is this a perfect opportunity for me to step into something that I wouldn't have in any other way? How is this a beautiful gift to me? How is this happening for me today? And how can you begin shifting that feeling that you have because of a different interpretation? So have fun playing with that. I would love to hear how that goes for you. Feel free to comment below a specific circumstance. And also, if there's something that you want to hear about, there's something you'd like me to coach into, there's a question that you have about something, please feel free to message me. I would love to hear. I know some of you guys have been doing that, and that's wonderful. I love it. I'm going to start addressing those when we're done with the Peace series. So bring your questions, bring your things you would like for me to do series on. And in the next few days, as I'm doing Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within, I'll be bringing you one nugget from each day as a takeaway. And if it ties into our Peace series, awesome. If not, we're going to pause it, and I will come back to our series on increasing your peace after Sunday. So blessings. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't heard it yet today, you are so loved. You're such a gift. And be blessed. See you tomorrow.